Everybody can't sleep. Was tired, sleepy as soon as I got back and lay down. Mind racing a mile a minute, thinking about things and some stuff that happened in the past. So I'm gonna tell some stories here about a haunting. Place I lived in. This place was haunted. This trailer was haunted. Trailer next door used to be haunted. I could tell stories about that. But I don't talk about a place I lived in back when I was 17. A little farmhouse in Burns, Tennessee on Underground City Road. I absolutely hated living there. That's probably about the only place that I remember ever living that I hated living at. And I'll tell you why. I didn't know Jesus back then. I was just my late teens, 17 years old. About a year of high school left, and we lived in this old farmhouse, Underground City Road, Burns, Tennessee. Now, back when we first moved there, I was hearing stories of why they call it Underground City Road. There used to be a cave system down the road. It's down, been the whole entrance to the caves. It's been the whole part of that cave part's just been taken down, just destroyed, and um, but that whole area, hearing stories about animal sacrifice, devil worship, animal sacrifice happening up in them caves. And me and my brother used to go hunting around them caves on both sides of the road because we lived down this country 2-lane road, paved. Wasn't dirt and gravel, but it was paved. It stretched from Highway 96 all the way to 46. I think it was Highway 46, something like that. But anyway, that whole area was haunted. There was evil presence in the whole area. Hearing them stories about devil worshippers doing animal sacrifices. Matter of fact, there's hauntings all over Dixon County. I mean, there's the White Bluff Screamer. The let's see, Werewolf Springs. 30 minutes from Adams, Tennessee. I'm 30 minutes here from Adams, Tennessee, home of the Bell Witch. Y'all don't know that history. Hauntings in Tennessee, but that whole area, Underground City Road, that's not the official name on the map, but that's the old school name. The old ones know it as still as Underground City Road. There's something I've kept close to the chest. I hadn't really spoken about it. I think the last time I remember speaking about it, I mean, I probably said something about to two people about this. My wife believed me back when we were together. My ex-wife Tiffany, but she had some spooky stories of her own. But Underground City Road was, oh man, that house we lived in, there was an evil presence in that house. It was haunted. Across the road, there was a cow pasture. It used to be, there was an old rundown farmhouse, looked like it'd been there since the early 1900s. And as you're facing towards the front porch of that old house, it's across the road, up in the cow pasture, where cows grazed. Now, I don't know about now, but then, but there was a family grave site, family graveyard, a small graveyard to the back right of that house. It's an old rundown farmhouse. Nobody lived there. It was just rundown and just. They say pay attention to animals. Animals can see into the spirit realm, see spirits better than we can. They can sense a presence or see something there that we can't sometimes. Most of the time. Had this cat named Bruno. He was a Russian blue short hair. I picked him up, took him up the stairs. I had the whole upstairs to myself. master bedroom, smaller little bedroom to the side, and my mom and dad slept down in this bedroom downstairs, and I had the whole upstairs. So I used a small room as a little, where I had my TV, my stereo, my music, and all that, my little entertainment room. The master bedroom I slept in. There's nights I'd be up there in a little entertainment room by myself, sitting there in my little brown chair, watching the TV, watching, say, like Cheers, uh, episodes of Cheers and stuff like that, reruns. But have nothing on upstairs, no lights on in the house upstairs except me and the TV. Conserve electricity. We were poor, so we didn't need a. If I didn't need a light for anything, I would have it on. So just me and the TV. That's the only light that was cast in the room. But there was many nights I'd sit up there watching the old reruns and feeling a presence, feeling of being watched, that something or whatever was behind me. It was a demon. God's not gonna spook you like that. That's not his style. He doesn't cast fear and frighten you like that, like the devil does. The devil wants you in fear. I didn't know Jesus back then. I didn't know the name of Jesus. To even use God-given authority to invoke his name to cause demons to run. And they'll run, and they fear the name of Jesus. They fear Jesus. And they fear that great name. Many nights I'd sit up there and I'd have this feeling of you could feel the evil presence and a feeling of being watched. As you come up the stairs, also, there's a wall right there, and then you turn around this little rail, wooden rail, to keep people from falling and onto the stairs, because that'll hurt you so. But there was a little crawl space, a wooden door you could open up, and there was a crawl space up in there. I've actually opened that door a couple of times, look up in that crawl space, flashlight, and there was always a presence of something watching. Something there that was evil. Upstairs, that house. And I remember sitting there a handful of nights, and I just feel something watching me, and feel that presence. And so I would get up, and I'm thinking somebody was pranking me. But I didn't hear the door open down, the door to the upstairs, to come upstairs, because I usually kept it closed. Cat wouldn't come up there. Try to bring him up there, Bruno, a couple times, but he never would stay. As soon as I'd set him down, I'd walk him up there, pick him up, walk up there with him, and as soon as I set him down on the floor, he'd turn around and run. Right back down the stairs. He would never come up them stairs by himself. Okay, I didn't understand that at the time, but nowadays I do. But thinking somebody's pranking me, I'd ease up out of that chair slow, thinking I'm fixing to catch like my mom or somebody trying to prank me. I'd turn on the bedroom light I was in, turn on the hallway light, and then ease my hand to the right inside the door to the master bedroom and flip that light. Nobody. I had a closet I didn't even, with clothes that I hated going there and even getting his shirt off the rack. Big walk-in closet to the left as you walk into the master bedroom where I slept at. And I didn't keep much up there. I remember just having the bed up there, just dresser for my clothes or whatever, and a big old painting of a ship on the wall, found at the art sale or something. But the clothes in the closet, and I hated going up in there. Never could find nobody, but felt that presence so many times. I felt the evil that something ain't right here. one night, my mom and dad, it was nighttime, they went off somewhere. So I was there by myself, me and Bruno, and I was downstairs on the living room TV playing my Nintendo, playing Zelda or something. The first Zelda game on Nintendo, the first Nintendo. I didn't have the sound up too loud. All of a sudden, I could hear something moving around or walking around upstairs. Me and Bruno was the only one in the house. Bruno didn't go upstairs. He didn't want to go upstairs. So that, nowadays I understand it tells me something, you know. So I eased, turned the TV down a little bit, and just sit there and listen. I could not wait for my mom to get home, mom and dad to get home. Another night, sitting at the kitchen table, doing homework, I think math homework or something. Dad, I think, was already in bed. My mom was up in the living room watching TV. And I'm sitting there and I'm contemplating one of my math problems. I think it was algebra or something. I kind of glanced up because I was sitting at the kitchen table facing the kitchen window that faced out to the road. And I saw a light out in the road, so I got up. I thought somebody had stopped out there or something. And there was a circle of light just lit up the road. Not from above, not from, it was just right there on the road. And I'm like, okay, there's no cars coming, no helicopters. I'm looking, I'm like, I went back inside. I did not understand that. I couldn't explain it. Um, and I remember something else happened. I mean, that whole area, when I say the whole area, the whole area. I mean, my brother used to go through the woods and stuff south of the house and cut through the woods and cut towards another fence and cross it into this another big field. We was going deer hunt and stuff. We never got anything, but one time I went out there by myself. It was daytime. Crossed that fence. Was just gonna go hiking, you know, just to get away from everything and hike through the woods a little bit. I'm telling you, I wasn't probably 20 yards into them woods. I knew them, you know, I knew all around that area and stuff. And all of a sudden, I had got turned around and confused and lost. 20 yards. I should have knew to turn back and go back the other. All I had to do was turn around and walk back. I couldn't figure it out. It was confusing, set over my mind. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know what. It was like something that hit me, you know, I don't know what. Then all of a sudden I was lost, turning around within 20 yards and confused. And all of a sudden, you know, without panicking, I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to walk forward. And I know there's this dry creek bed. And I know if I turn to the right, I think. So if I hit this dry creek bed and I turn to the right and walk down the middle of that creek bed to the right, within another 20 yards there would have been a road. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see the house from where I was at. I couldn't see the road because of the trees and stuff. So I did that, made it back to the road. Within a few minutes, I was there, you know. But that was one of the weirdest things, you know. I never got lost in the woods within 20 feet of crossing a barbed wire fence to get into this little neck of the woods. I had got confused, lost, and turned around that quick. And I remember being out in the yard sometimes, and there was the bedroom window upstairs, you know, that faced towards the driveway. The one from the little bedroom faced towards the driveway. And I always feel like something was watching me, and I would look up there, like say if I was out in the yard doing something, mowing the yard, or playing with the dogs or whatever. You know, I could feel something watching, and every once in a while I'd turn around, look up that window, never saw nothing. But I felt like there was something watching me outside that window, inside that window from that bedroom, looking down at me while I'm in the yard. And I would look up there sometimes, expecting to see somebody looking at me, but nobody. I'm getting little chill bumps just even thinking about it. I'm not afraid of the devil. It's just, it's a creepy thing when you're lost and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to get rid of the evil. Just call upon Jesus. You just tell it. You tell that old devil, you leave me alone in the name of Jesus. Stay away from me. The devil will flee. I just thought I'd share an interesting story. I hope y'all have a good night.